I read 15 books in March, so let's talk about them all. This was a crazy month of reading for me. I was not expecting to read 15 books, but honestly, I swapped a lot of my screen time for reading time. So let's get into all the books I read. So the first book I read in March was Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. I know I've already done a couple videos on this series, so you know I love this book. I gave this book a 4.75 star, and I would definitely recommend this series. Next book I read was Heart Check by Emily Charlotte. This was the cutest little YA romance. Really loved reading this one. It was a super quick, light read, and I give this a 4 star. And then I read Not Another Love Song by Julie Soto, and this book really surprised me too. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about this one, but I ended up really liking it and give it a 4.25 star. Next was my first advanced reader copy read of the month, and that was Choosing You by Linnie Mack. This was a book that was a lot different from other ones I normally read, but I still had a really good time reading it, and I gave it a 3.25 star. Next, I started one of my most anticipated series, and that was The Deal by Elle Kennedy, and I loved this book. I had a feeling I was going to really enjoy this one, so the fact that I did, I was just so happy. I gave this a 4.75 star. And then I decided to finish the Shadow and Bone trilogy with Ruin and Rising, and this was the perfect conclusion. I couldn't have wanted this to end any other way. It was so perfect, and I gave this a 5 star. Then I read another arc, and that was Hold Me by Anna Savas. This one was actually really surprising too. It's set at a dance school, and if you didn't know, dance is a huge part of my life. I really enjoyed reading this one, and I gave it a 4 star. And then I continued with the Off-Campus series, and I read The Mistake by Elle Kennedy. I really liked this one too, just didn't like it more than The Deal. The story was really cute. I feel like it was really relatable because I'm like the same age as our FMC. Gave this a 4.5 star. After that, I read one of my most anticipated releases of the year, Just Friends by Haley Pham. Unfortunately, I am part of the group of people that did not love this book. I just think the writing personally was not for me. I've seen a lot of reviews of people really loving this book as well, but yeah, personally it just wasn't for me, and I ended up giving this a 1.5 star. Then after that, I read a book that literally blew my mind, and that was A Stage Set for Villains. If you've read this book, you know how crazy good it is. If you haven't, please put it on your TBR and read it immediately. Easily the best YA fantasy book I have read in years. It was so unique, and it was literally perfect. 5 star, obviously. And then I read another arc, and that was The Sound That Found Me by Jillian Marie. This was another kind of like later in life romance like Choosing You was. If I didn't mention that before, Choosing You was a later in life romance, but I really enjoyed it. It was really cute. It's like set around music and fashion, which are 2 things I love. So I gave this one a 3.75 star. And then another one of my most anticipated releases of the year, I read And Now Back to You by B.K. Borison. I had a feeling this book would be a 5 star, and it was. Like, this book was seriously so good. And I really just saw myself in Delilah's character. If you didn't know, I love a blonde MMC, so like, this was my perfect book. Yeah, it was 5 stars. Right after that, I jumped into another book I've been wanting to read for a really long time, and that was Wings of Starlight by Allison Saft. I had a feeling I would really enjoy this book because I love all things Disney, especially Disney fairies. I loved these movies as a kid, so I knew I would love this book. And I did. I gave it a 5 star. Backstory was very interesting, and I just really liked learning more about these characters. Another arc, and that was Enemies to Lovers by Alicia Rai, and this book I was really excited to read too. It was a very interesting plot. I'm not a huge fan of third-person POV, and that's what this book is written in, so that kind of lowered my rating overall. I also just wanted a little more chemistry between the characters. I gave this a 3 star. And then my last book of the month was Stranger Things Have Happened by Casey West. I love Casey West's YA books, so I've been reading her adult books as well. I've been an ARC reader for both of them now. I didn't love the first one, but her second one I liked a little better. The plot of this book was super interesting. I would never have thought to do like fake couples therapy. It was funny, it was a good time, but I just didn't really get into the romance, so I gave this one a 2 star. So that is every book I read in March. Let me know if you've read any of these books, what did you think of them?